Today I'm doing another tech rally video, but stock market video about what's going on in the market, my ideas on what's going to happen, and what's happened so far. And my cat is on my desk per usual. All right, so really quick, love you. You gotta go. Really quick. So today it's Friday, the 22nd of July, 2022. And we're starting to see more of a sideways look on the market. So let's just talk about what's happened so far and talk about where we're at right now. So last Wednesday we had a big buy up here at the end of all of Wednesday. There's a lot of buying up going on. All right, let me get into this. Let me get closer. We had a lot of buying up. Where are you? Right here. A lot of buying up, and then it sold off in futures and pre-market. Yeah, pretty much the after hours trading sold off, but the next day it ran again, and then we entered the tech rally. Right there on that Friday, or that Thursday and that Friday, we started getting a ramp up. And right here we got a buy signal right around 287, and I'm looking at the triple Qs, which is tech sector, innovation sector, and this was our buy right here, in this, anywhere in this range, anywhere in here. Let me just circle it. Anywhere in this range was your buy. I'm sorry, I use so many levels for stuff, so I try to hide that. So right in there was when I bought, I started buying a lot of stocks up right in here, and on the way up I bought some. So now that I've bought all these stocks, and I'm starting to see like the market's kind of starting to move. It's starting to move a little sideways now, like ramp up, huge ramp up, but now we're kind of dipping here. There was a lot of trading early market, and now we're kind of like right in the middle. Like, we haven't sold off quite yet, and we haven't bought up. So how do we protect ourselves against this? Like, what do you do on a day where the market seems so uncertain? You need to figure out how to protect yourself. So one thing you can do is, I wouldn't sell any of your stock. I would keep all of it, but figure out how much of it you have, like price wise, and then you want to match it with puts, so that way if the market does go down, it protects you to the downside. Now when you buy puts, there's a strategy to it. Like, I could go into it a little bit. Like, I like to take 30-day out puts just because the theta doesn't destroy you. And what I really try to do with them is I use them to hedge against selling off. And today it's starting to look weak. The RSI is starting to dip a little bit here. The RSI is starting to dip a little bit. Not much. It's still early. We got to see what the market's going to do. But with current news, there's just so much uncertainty on, like, oh, are we going to recession? Oh, no, I don't think we're going to recession. Maybe. Make up your fucking minds. But a lot of companies see it differently too in their markets. So like, maybe certain markets are getting hit a lot more than others, obviously, that have to rely on fuel. There's a lot of different things you have to look at. But I am noticing a slight downward strength in this so far. And so far today we had a little bit of selling. We've had a little bit of selling today. I bought puts today to hedge against my stocks. I'm not selling any of my stocks, but if this thing falls, I am protected on the downside because my puts will pay out while my stocks lose. So pretty much I'll be able to I'll wait until it hits a certain point, and then sell my puts, and then maybe look at buying some stock when I think we're close to a bottom again. That's how I protect against a downside. I mean, I don't think we're going to a downside quite yet. I think what's going to happen is the same thing that happened last time we got into this range. So if you look here, I wish I can, let me hide this. I'm sorry, guys. Hey, what's up, Magnet? How you doing, man? I'm just going over some of the stock market indicators right now. So we're back into this range right here. We're back in the 305, 306 range right here. And then we started doing all these little ups and downs. And then we fell back to the low of the most recent low of the market. And what I want to do here is, while this is happening, while we move sideways, is just be protected if this does happen again. If you're, I mean, it does matter on what stocks you have. If you have nothing but growth stocks and you grab puts, like, you could probably still lose a bunch of money, because growth stocks aren't going to grow the fastest in this market. Right now, what's protected is big stocks, big value stocks. People are throwing their money in big value stocks. People are starting to put in a little bit into growth stocks. So now the problem that we run into there, if your portfolio is a lot of growth stocks could still stay low while the market starts running. It's just because they don't have a lot of market value. Like, they don't, a push in those stocks isn't going to push the market higher. It's going to be big stocks like Apple, Google, Tesla, Amazon, Microsoft. Who else we got? Nvidia, maybe, Facebook. You got, who else? I mean, Walmart's a big one. Berkshire. But today it looks like mostly the utilities are doing pretty well. Real estate's doing well. Tesla is doing very well today. They're up almost 3%. No, they were up 3% earlier. They're down to like 2.7. Tesla had good earnings, so people are investing. Another stock that's doing really good that had really good earnings was American Express. So now with that, looking at what's down, Google, Meta, Verizon had slightly underrated performance. So, well, they didn't do super hot for their earnings, so they kind of sold off. If you look here, Verizon, VZ, yeah, look at this sell-off. Like, the problem with the market right now, any indicator that the company looks weak or they're missing earnings in this environment, they're getting sold very fast. So Verizon, which is a divvy stock, sold off huge sell-off. It started selling off 3 days ago, so probably around like Tuesday. This thing just started plummeting from like $50. Now it's $44. I mean, that's not a huge loss, obviously, but if you have thousands of these, it's a lot of money. Now, with that said, it does have a divvy, so it probably will hold better. But stocks that don't have divvies and they do poor earnings, they're gonna flatline. They're just gonna drop right out of the sky, unless there's some kind of good news that they announce during their earnings. Like Meta, for example, like if they announce like a huge thing with the metaverse and I don't know, like VR, but they miss earnings, it might not hurt them as bad because people might see that as a good and like, okay, so the reason why you guys miss is because you're a lot of R&D. Okay, we can see that. But some of these companies like Verizon, they're a phone company. They're a service company, and they aren't getting as much new customers, I guess. So they got rocked. Let's look at American Express though really quick. They did great. Right here. Beating earnings, revenue. Oh man, they almost did $1 billion more in revenue. Almost $1 billion more in revenue. That is insane. That would be a really good buy. If they're doing that. Let's see what their high is. Like, let's go to, I think this is their high up here. To auto. 199. They're at 157. I don't think it'll get to 199 right now, but this is a good indicator when the market's running. AXP is going to be towards the top when it comes to financial. So keep that in mind. I know Citigroup did well. I think JP Morgan didn't do well. Like, we're getting so much mixed reviews from finance, and then we're also getting a lot of mixed reviews for tech right now. We're not sure what's going to happen with tech because Snapchat just performed. Let's look at Snap. So Snap, they just dropped. Like, they had poor earnings. Yeah, I just don't see how Snapchat's a profitable company. I don't think Snapchat's going to last that long. I think eventually Snapchat will get bought by one of the other big social media companies, which I think they're already owned by. Who are they owned by? I think they already got bought. Who owns Snapchat? Snapchat itself. Have they not sold? I thought they sold. Oh, they just belong to Snap. Okay, I thought they got bought, but I think they will get bought. I think the problem that Snapchat has is they lack technology for their product, and there's not, like, people just use Snapchat to send like silly videos to friends. Like, there's not like a huge platform for like searching Snapchats. Not like Instagram, not like TikTok, not like YouTube. So that's who they're competing with, and I don't think they're gonna be any of those. Do I still play Conqueror's Blade? Yes, I do. I'm probably going to stream that after I'm done with this. I just want to finish this up, and then I'll answer any questions if you do. Magnet, I just want to do a quick wrap up here, and then we'll go from there. NVIDIA is sliding a little bit. I'm noticing it got up to this point, 180-ish mark, and it had a huge sell-off. It's having a little bit of a sell-off. It's because people are waiting to see what's going to go on with that chip maker bill that Congress needs to pass. Like, they're trying to approve how much, and I think the amount was close to $52 billion for chip makers, and NVIDIA would definitely be one, AMD would be one, Intel would be one. So those would be three big stocks to look at. Texas Instruments probably might be one. So I would definitely keep an eye on chips and what happens with the chip. I call it the chip bill. They just want to incentivize and try to compete with China in chip making and technology. So yeah, that's like most of the market. I don't know what else is going on. I think what I think is going to happen, looking at the Qs, I think we're at a point where the buyers are like, okay, let's see what happens if we stop buying for a second. Is the market going to sell off? Like, how much does it slow down when we stop pumping the market? So, I mean, honestly, this isn't bad. This isn't bad at all. It's just sideways. But the problem I have with sideways is consolidation. It could be them figuring out what's their next move when they allocate all their assets and say, oh, okay, we don't need this asset anymore. Boom, get rid of it. And then you just see the market go. And you're talking about the whales out there that have billions and billions of dollars, hedge funds, financial institutes. When they see any indicators indicating like a weak market, they might just sell off. The RSI is pretty important to keep a look at because it tells us the strength. So that's something I'm going to keep an eye on, is if this RSI is going to keep sliding down. As you can see here, it went up and then just kind of stayed up here, almost at the overbought. Like this little perforated line that goes across, that is like indicating like, oh, kind of getting overbought here. But I mean, that's good for constant push to the upside. But then if it starts sliding back down, we'll see a sell-off. We'll see a little bit of a sell-off, but then it could get bought up. So I don't know for sure what's going to happen. And also, all my ideas are my ideas. Like, I don't recommend you using this and blaming me. No. These are just my ideas. I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that. I watch the market almost every day, pretty much every day. And I'm trying to build a rapport on like what happens when certain things happen. So I'm trying to tie everything together. So I want to share that information with you. So a very important indicator with the Qs right now is it needs to break out of this range right here, this 312 range. It needs to get up to 312 and break past. and then it can start running towards like 320. So that's big. That's big. So that is my wrap up of the markets today, this week. I am gonna stream Conqueror's Blade probably in about 20 minutes. I just want to finish this video really quick because it'll go on to YouTube, and then I'm gonna start back up in about 20 minutes. So anyone that has questions, just give me like 10 minutes. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna get ready for the stream because I'm gonna stream from about 10 to like 1 or 2. So you have plenty of time to ask questions. So all right, thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you next time.